Hello, my dear students. Wish all of you are fine. I'm your course teacher, Ifata Jahan. Today, we are going to discuss a new topic, that is food security. Wish all of you know about that. If you don't know, then you will be clear in today's session. So let's get started. First of all, we have to know what is food security. So here is a two words we can check there. One is food and another is security. Okay. So, food security will be something that is secured in food. If you go for definition, it will be like that. When all people at all times, okay, when all people at a certain period actually, when all people at all times have access to a sufficient, safe and nutritious food to maintain a healthy and active life. That means whenever a fixed area people get sufficient, safe and nutritious food for maintaining healthy and active life for a certain period, like for example for 1 year, then we can say that that area's people are secured in food. We can also define as like that whenever physically and economical access of food is actually get by or got by peoples of dietary needs as well as their food preferences. That means whenever people get the dietary needs in case of food preferences for a fixed time, then we can say that that area's peoples are secured in food. So we can check the food security actually in two levels. One is our community and another is household level. In case of community level, actually as like the definition, it like that. Whenever community food security exists, when all citizens obtain a safe, personally acceptable, nutritious diet through a sustainable food system that maximize the healthy choice and community self-reliance and equal access for everyone. And this definition actually given by the Public Health Association of British Columbia. Okay. Another important level of food security is the household level. According to this, whenever all members of a house, okay, get a required amount of quality and quantitative and safe food at a certain period of time, then we can say that that household also secured in food. So that is our community and household food security. Now we're going to know about the component or dimension of food security. There were actually 4 dimensions of food security. They are all interrelated with each other. The dimensions are food availability, accessibility, then it will be utilization, and last of all will be stability. So now we're going to learn what is the relationship among the 4. First of all, we are starting with food availability. As we know, availability means whenever food is available in that certain area for a certain period of time, then we can say that the areas in that area food is available. Okay, and it's normally calculated that food available or not from local agricultural production, or we can also calculate it from net import and export or our food balance sheet. We can just calculate that. And some dimension of food security is like that. We can assess it like food balance sheet, food market survey, agricultural production planet, all of the things. By measuring or calculating that, we can understand that food is available in that area or that country or not. Okay. Second one is food access, or food, you can also say that accessibility. So what is the meaning of accessibility? Accessibility means whenever you can get that thing, actually that is called the food accessibility. Okay, and it's related in case of food, it mainly related with the income. Okay, that is your ability of expenditure and buying of some things for your household or individual. It's called the food accessibility. That means your food is supplied more and food are available in the market, but if you don't have the money, that food is not accessible for you. So with the availability of food, at the same time, it's also important that you can access that food. It's called accessibility. And you can also measure that by food price, per capita food consumption, meal frequency, employment rate. With that measuring or assessing that, we can understand that food accessibility is present or not. Then our third one is food utilization. So now we know about food availability and accessibility. It's present in your area or in your country, but if the food cannot be utilized properly, so actually food availability and accessibility will not work. For example, if any household, three kinds of people is present. One is pregnant women, one is lactating women, and another is a child that is in a growing age. So you have to give them proper amount of food according to their needs. If the member or the head of the family cannot utilize that food or distribute that food according to their need, so they will not get proper amount of nutrition and they will suffer for that. That means your food is available and accessible, so your food is present in your food, but it's not properly utilized. Okay, so it's called the utilization of food or food utilization. There is some indicator, that is whenever required amount of food is not get by the head of the family to the needed people, so they will suffer from different kinds of diseases like stunting, wasting, different kinds of diarrheal disease or anemic, or they can be suffer from night blindness. These kinds of indicators actually indicate that food is not properly utilized in your area or in your country. So now we will learn our last one, that is stability. So when stability will come, or whenever we say that country is stable in food, whenever these previous three dimensions, that food availability, accessibility, and utilization, okay, will going over time in a proper way. That means your food is available in your country, people can access that food, and your disease rate also very low. That means you can say that now the food security is present in our country. But if it's like that, from the first of 1 or 2 months of the year, is food is present properly, or you can check that availability and accessibility in your area, but after that it fluctuated. People suffering from different kinds of diseases and people cannot buy their food, so it's called like that the country is not stable in food. Okay, so it's just like that, the people can feel food secure when availability, accessibility, and proper utilization is present in the country. And there were some also actually factors like anthropometric survey, weighing chart of pregnant women, food price fluctuation. With that, any person or any agency can understand that food security is present in your country or in that area or not. So that's at the 4 dimension of food security. And it's whenever that, if you go for a summary like that, whenever food availability, accessibility, and utilization is in a level, then stability will come in that area. And whenever these 4 dimensions work together, when these 4 dimensions actually work together, 4 components work together, then we can check that nutritional outcome. If it work together, then your nutritional outcome will be very good. If not, then it will be very poor. Then our next part is actually food insecurity. Till now we know about what is food security. Now we are going to know what is actually food insecurity. According to USDA, it's defined like that: whenever a lack of consistent access to enough food for an active and healthy life, it's called the food insecurity. You already know the food security, that means it will be opposite. Whenever people don't get that enough food for an active and healthy life, so they suffer from food insecurity. There are some reasons there, you can check there: farming, poverty, less money, cyclone, flood, less poultry and livestock, different kinds of place, domestic production, or high food price. All of the things actually affect the food insecurity. And if you go for who are mostly suffer from food insecurity, it's like that different kinds of poor people in urban areas especially, or in rural area workers like beggars, Sometimes the self-employed people actually who cannot earn so much money, traditional artisans, providers of traditional service. For example, you can check that if traditional artisans, like they just bear the tradition, but they cannot get the proper money of that for traditional product, so they also suffer from food insecurity. With that, landless people. Okay, so these kinds of people actually suffer from food insecurity mostly. With that, different kinds of vulnerable people like pregnant women, lactating women, we know that child of growing age, they also can suffer from food insecurity. Food insecurity, if you go for the types, actually there are mainly two types that we can check. One is chronic food insecurity, another is acute or transitory food insecurity. Chronic food insecurity means that is lack of minimum requirement of food to the people for a sustained period of time. Okay, that is its sustainable time, long time, due to extended periods of poverty, inadequate access to productive or financial resources. People suffer from food insecurity for a longer period, for 1 year, 2 years, they're suffering from food. That is called the chronic food insecurity. If you go for acute or transitory food insecurity, it's like that. That is sudden food insecurity present in the country. Okay, like due to flood, due to war, suddenly foods fluctuations, food prices fluctuated, or food is not available, accessible. Then for sometimes actually, food, that area or that country is suffering from food insecurity. It's called the acute or transitory food insecurity. So that are the types of food insecurity with the definition. Now we're going to know about some causes or factors that actually affect food insecurity, like population increases. We know we are a highly populated country, so due to that reason, and it's also Bangladesh is a very much disaster prone area. So frequency of natural disaster, low productivity, and different kinds of uh, um, rate of population or growing rate of population. Actually, it's our population is growing day by day, and this is a reason of food insecurity, because whenever population is growing day by day, there is a gap actually present between production and distribution. Okay, and whenever this gap happen, food insecurity exists in the country. Then urbanization, it's from different survey, it's said like that. It is expected within 2050 almost 65% of the population will be living in urban areas. Okay, so whenever population will increase in urban areas, their supply of food uh, will be increased maybe, but the supply chain will be hampered then. Okay, because most of the people then living in the urban area, so people the price of the food will also increase due to availability more, or due to more population in the country or in that area. Okay, and whenever the supply of food will increase, maybe if income is not generating in that way, that food will not so much accessible for them. The natural resources like that, some poor water management, poor soil conditions, or if that is not used properly, or you can say that natural resources is not used properly, food insecurity can be exist. With that, climate change is also important factor for increasing food insecurity, because climate shifted and changes, and its effect on productivity. So it also a major reason of food insecurity of any country. And another important actually reason, lack of access to farming land. As you know from that, that is now Bangladesh is a actually overpopulated country, but land is not actually increasing in that way. Land is fixed. So people actually living in lots of the land. So farming land is now reduced than before. Okay, so it's a major reason of increasing food insecurity in any area or in Bangladesh. And another important reason is political corruption and instability. We know Bangladesh is a highly corrupted country. So whenever any kinds of donations or any kinds of program actually started, it's actually like that. Donors will give their money, and whenever it's go for people, it's actually like these kinds of amounts. So these are the major reasons that affecting food insecurity in Bangladesh. And for actually managing that food insecurity, government trying getting lots of initiative. Among them, some are like open market sales. As you know, in our corona pandemic situation, or whenever the price of the onion actually increased, then we easily observe that OMS of the government. So it's actually is an ongoing project of government for minimizing that food insecurity. During 2007-8, about 0.25 million metric tons of grains have been sold under open market sales. Without that, vulnerable group and vulnerable group feeding program also continued about 0.22 and 0.19 million metric tons at that time. Okay. With that, government actually also implementing some program to increase the production up to 25% of major crops during July 2007 to 2010. It's actually a old data. Now its implementing rate is also higher. And also government has taken some steps to prepare Upajela wise crop production plan. Okay, for the coming crop season, as actually the production of the crops can be increased and people can get the proper amount of food. With that, government important initiative or strategies like that for using fallow agricultural land in coastal and hilly areas. Okay, that it can be used for farming or living of the people. So with that initiative, actually food insecurity can be minimized. With that, there are lots of program also taken day by day for minimizing that food insecurity to convert into security. Or nowadays actually we are secured in food in not all the way, but in case of our staple food like rice production, we are actually secured. Okay, but with other production actually we are not secured. For that, government also working on that, and with that our import export and other areas also working on it. So actually that is our food security and insecurity, and that's for today. Thank you.